Who else might be feeling like there is a lot of fast moving energy coming at you? Things that you have asked for don't seem to be appearing, so you think, and things that you haven't asked for are coming right into your lap. And maybe you're even feeling like you're not wondering, is it the moon doing it? Why is this all happening? But the thing is it's happening because you've asked for it. And I'm talking about the inner wisdom that's within you and the natural resources that you have access to that are right inside of you that we forget about. And I've been noticing my clients and their what they've been telling me lately, and they're frustrated, they're disappointed, they're impatient, and they're not sleeping. And maybe you have been feeling this as well. So put in the comments what is up for you. Like, what is in the immediate vortex for you right now when it comes to how you're feeling, what you're noticing is happening, and are you sleeping? And while you're doing that, while you're putting in the comments, I've been forgetting to tell you, if you're new watching this, I'm Jennifer Seifert, the creator of Receptive Radio, your tuning station. I'm also the creator and founder of Life Force Activation Live Guided Practice Studio on Zoom. And I'm also the creator and founder of Finding the Source, private mentoring programs, signature programs. And I love helping leaders be the leaders that they envision for themselves and help them to remove all the challenges and obstacles in the way, such as imposter syndrome or traumas or things that have happened to you in your family or your life that are, coming up, and you really want to just be the person you're meant to be. And I'm also streaming to YouTube and to Facebook, Receptive Radio private group. And if you're on YouTube, I would love it if you can like, subscribe, and comment and help me to grow this channel. I'm getting more views and more traction. There's also about over 200 Receptive Radio episodes on YouTube. And if you're feeling down or low, you can go back and find something to help you out. There is a ton of good content on this channel. And so back to maybe checking if anyone's put a comment in here. Nobody has, but what is going on for you? And so, like, you feel like you're doing all the right things, but then you're getting slammed with things that you don't want to be happening. And sometimes this happens so that you can get what you want. And the wisdom inside of you knows what's priority before you do. And when you're not giving yourself time to access the wisdom inside of you, it kind of like seems like it's appearing out of nowhere. And you're like, well, why the hell is this happening to me? And we forget that we are the creators of our reality. We forget that we are the ones inviting life to happen for us. And then, so when things that come into our field of awareness or start happening, we forget that we've asked for this. And it might feel uncomfortable what's showing up, but it's actually something that needs to move the needle to get you to the next step. An example I can use is, like, I once was kicked in the back by a horse named Epic Era on the summer solstice in 2017, June 21st, 2017. And, she really gave me a lot of warnings. She even told me, don't come in the paddock with me and don't try and catch me. And I still went headlong, forced myself right into the situation, trying to put her halter on, and I got kicked in the back and thrown to the ground. And I'm still alive. I made it. I had to drive myself to the hospital. But at that time, I was really wanting to move into my path as doing what I do now. And I got kicked in the back. And I was laid up And it really, put me in a different place than I was thinking I should be in. And it was perfect. It ended up being perfect. And it moved me in a direction that got me to here. It actually did get me here. Even though at the time, I thought it was slowing me down. I thought it was interfering with my plans. But it was really moving me in the direction that I needed to go. I just couldn't recognize that at the time. And so the inner resources within myself, I might not have been paying attention enough to myself at the time to really notice that, but they were communicating with me. And that's why I like to get outer support. That's why I have my own coaches and why I get support from other people is because I have blind spots. I have blind spots and I can't always see them. And if I tell you one more thing about the horses, you know, Epic Era, why she kicked me. Well, the logical reason why she kicked me is because she was turned out from racing. It was a summer month and she was in a paddock. And my mom and dad, who are the total experts around how to take care of horses, and I was feeding her racehorse rations of food, of oats. So I was feeding her enough so that she could be jogging and exercising every day and racing once a week. And so it totally was like way too much energy and protein. She was trying to tell me, like, stop feeding me so much stuff because she was so high strung. She was totally, basically strung out on high protein diet. And so my parents really told me, you got to feed her less and give her more hay for the less effort that she's making. She's not making lots of physical effort. So I was overfeeding her. So where in your life, if you were to look at your life right now, maybe you're overcompensating and overdoing something and focusing too much on something that isn't really the priority to get you where you want to go. And maybe you've hit your head, or you got that Zen stick or something has knocked you into, you need to focus on this instead. You need to focus on this instead. And that's the thing about the resources within ourselves, is that when we slow down enough to really look inside and then connect with somebody who is from an outside, they can help us to see what we're not seeing. And in the case I just told you, I needed the horse to really show me what I wasn't seeing. I needed to slow down. I needed to pay attention to what I was doing, and take it step by step and let it happen the way the universe knows how to make it happen for me. I know how to ask for what I want, but many of us, including myself, have had to learn how to receive how it wants to show up, And we can be a little bit more conscious and aware and noticing this and cultivate our patience and cultivate our awareness and cultivate the practice of observation and noticing when we look inside, when we put more attention on ourselves than noticing what's happening. Of course you want to notice what's happening outside of you, but if you're not noticing what's happening inside of you, the outside just takes over and like takes us for a ride, drags us around like a wild horse, and we're just getting towed around by them on the reins. And so I'm noticing that that's a big thing happening in the energy field right now, where my clients are telling me that I'm helping them because these things are happening. And because I'm helping them to see them in a different perspective, they're shifting faster. They're not getting stuck in it. And they're remembering that they have these resources within themselves to tune in, to connect, to slow down and pay more attention and be more observant to the actual priorities. Because if you're really wanting to be a famous author or a best-selling author or a public speaker or an entrepreneur who is making over 6 figures or potentially 7 figures and, world renowned, those types of things. Sometimes there's things that have to be dealt with first in your personal life before you can get to those professional career goals. And sometimes those things are around the blind spots that you can't see. They're around the shadows that you can't notice in yourself without somebody else mirroring it back to you. And when you seem to get triggered, like I notice this in networking groups, sometimes there's the complainer and it's not happening the way they want it to happen. And so they got to, tell us in the main group that it's not happening the way they think it should happen. And I just chuckle. It's like, interesting, like, are you noticing that you're complaining in public to everyone else and showing that you're triggered, but they're, maybe not noticing that. Maybe you're watching. Anyway, so the practice to really tune into yourself is I've created a whole membership called Life Force Activation. And so in that practice, I help you to connect with two of the biggest resources that are available to us, the earth and the sun. And lots of you know that I'm a shamanic practitioner as well. So when we're struggling with things that are happening to us and it's not going the way we're planning, I like to call on the big guns to help because they know more than us. And those big guns in my world are the earth and the sun. And everything is spirit. And so when we connect with the earth and the sun, those resources, those are natural resources. They remind us that we have those resources within us. We have light within us. We have fertility and groundedness within us. And those two big powerhouses are big teachers. And I like to harness their power. And I like to use metaphors around horse racing. And I worked with harness horses and I know how to harness power. And I have been practicing it for so long that these two powerhouses have really been the guides leading me to create Life Force Activation, because they know that they can help us with what we are asking for. And what we're asking for is to, change the world, to have inner peace, to feel better, to be happy, to be fulfilled. And in order to do that, we need to start observing the natural resources that are within us and really connecting with the natural resources that are available to us in a whole different way. This isn't about saving the environment and like using solar energy. This is about connecting with the natural resources. You are nature. Remember that we are nature. And when we do that, that automatically overflows into helping the environment and using solar power. What I've noticed on the property I'm living on, which is, we've just been here a year, and I didn't notice this when we moved in last year because there was no fruit on any of the trees. But this year, there's like a super bumper crop. Like I've never seen trees overflowing and heavy with fruit. I mean, multiple trees and berries and birds and animals and rabbits, like all getting fed from this, including me harvesting it as well. But there was so much I couldn't even harvest it all. And I really feel confident that my practices with Life Force Activation and my commitment to building and developing the relationship with the earth and the sun and teaching others how to do that, the earth is showing me that. Like, the bounty of it that it can be created is exponential, is overflowing amount of energy. And I heard that October is mental health month or something. And this is something that can really support your mental health, is when you turn towards yourself, when you reconnect with nature, when you reconnect with the powerhouses that are our home and providing us with heat, food, and warmth and light, and we forget that those are the sources, the resources that we are accessing all the time, and we take them for granted. And then we take for granted within ourselves that there's all this technology, the breath, the pineal gland, the pituitary gland, the vertical core, our energetic field, our ability to, understand our chakra systems and the energy, or even our digestion, all of the systems inside of our body. We forget that we can be way more powerful if we learn how to take care of ourselves. And so that's one of my missions with Life Force Activation, is really helping you just take better care of yourself so that you can get what you want. And in the shamanic world is like accessing the big allies, like the earth and the sun. And I mean, I also do birds and stuff like that too, but here I'm talking about the earth and the sun. When we are committing to have a relationship and build relationship with them regularly, they have no problem stepping in and making miracles happen for us. Another little short story is like, I went to the island and got on a ferry last weekend. And on Sunday, when we were coming back, I really was, I want to see some whales. I'd like to see some whales. And I was asking for it before we even got on the ferry. I'd like to see some whales today. And, then I was sitting by myself. Ian stayed in the truck, and I was listening to the Blue Jays playing and on my headphones. And then the captain says, there's 2 high humpback whales on the starboard side of the ship. So I moved over there and I saw their spray and I saw the backs of them. And I remembered I asked for this and I said, thank you. And I'm just like really, was sending gratitude to the whales and to the earth and to the sun, because the sun was shining. And I recognized that I asked for this and I received it. And then it happened really fast. And that because I'm paying attention to myself, because I'm following my guidance, and because I'm building relationship with the earth and the sun and clients and people and myself, things can happen really fast. What you want. And that's the thing when you're doing the personal development work and you're paying attention to yourself and you're asking other people to help you with your blind spots, you can move through things faster than if you're not. And I'm so grateful for you watching today, because you really inspire me to come up with content and create talks and stuff and create things to offer people. And I'm staying on, what I do. Like I'm just like you, guided to do what I'm here to do, and helping you do what you're meant to do is really my purpose. And if this resonates, like what I'm talking about, this inner technology, this nature, this medicine that's inside of you, and you have been noticing that, you're kind of feeling like you're in the cocoon, you're not the butterfly, but you're not the caterpillar, and you're in this growing pain stage, there's, that's an indication that things could change, or you're going through shifts and integrations, and maybe you can move through them faster if you put more attention on yourself, if you start asking for help with the resources and medicine and allies that are available to us, and start building relationship with it. And that's where I come in, is like I'm a facilitator of that, so I can help it come in for you faster than you having to take the whole shamanic training course. And that kind of stuff. So right now I'm offering 15-minute consults just to help you get realigned. So bring one problem, bring one struggle, and I will laser in and help you to transform it in 15 minutes. And I'm going to put the I'll send you the link if you would like one of these sessions. I have a limited amount of sessions. They're running on Tuesday, October 14th, between 1 and 5 Pacific and 4 and 8 Eastern, I think. So put leader in the comments if you're interested, and I will send you the link to book one of those sessions with me. I'm only doing them on Tuesday. And I thought it was a good day because in Canada, that's the day after the holidays. So maybe your nerves are a little bit shot because you've been dealing with family or whatever, or other things, you know, just really to be supportive to you in any way I can. So leader in the comments if you'd like that. Also, feel free to always reach out to me if something I say strikes a chord with you and you want to talk more. Thank you for watching today. I always love the support that I'm getting, and I feel really supported. Have a great day.